Hi, I'm Cheryl Corcoran, and I'm going to speak about our R34. This is an MPI. I am a psychiatrist, as you heard. I work with Mohammed Parvez, electrical engineer and cognitive neuroscientist, and also Jack Grinband. And so we don't have any intracortical recording. And for the ecologically valid behavior that we're studying, it's not people out and about walking in the world, but face-to-face communication, which as a psychiatrist is very important to me. That's how we tend to make diagnoses, treat people, et cetera. And out in the world, social function is particularly dependent on what goes on in dyads. And we want to have the same rigor and reproducibility for studying behavioral synchrony in dyads as we do with recording brain activity during dyadic conversations. So this is our heuristic, where we will look at monadic synchrony, which is across different domains within individuals, and then dyadic synchrony, which is between two individuals, interlocutors who are speaking. And we have here data streams that are a subset of what we will look at. This is focusing on behavior, face expression, where people are looking, what they say, the semantics, how they say it, gestures, et cetera. Our study aims, we're going to convene a team of experts to discuss the paradigm development, get feedback, think about ethics, how best to measure this, and the models for looking at synchrony. We're going to build two testing rooms, one at Mount Sinai and one at New York State Psychiatric Institute. And that will enable us actually to have some, sort of cross-site validation. We're going to have an identical setup, and the same dyads in New York City who will sometimes meet in person at each of the two testing rooms will also speak to each other via virtual or remote, like for instance, Zoom. So we could look at degradation of data when we use a virtual platform, which now is also very ecologically valid with telemedicine, et cetera. And then for modeling, we'll look at, we'll do data formats, pre-processing, dimensionality reduction. I mentioned the information degradation. We want to see how communication varies by personality type, by age and sex, and test some novel models. So this is our team. There's me, Mohammed, and Jack. We have the head of our IRB, Glenn Martin. Urena Clark will head up diversity, and Sarah Berger is from IBM and has expertise in ethics of the work that we're doing. Steve Heisig will do analyses, Justin Baker. These are a number of people that you see Guillermo Cecchi down at the bottom. We have been studying dyadic behavior in a number of different cohorts. We have grants to do that in schizophrenia in the clinic, but we really want to do this now so that we can set it up for doing hyperscanning and do a number of different BESH experiments. And we have some experts on computer vision, Dimitris Samaras. We have Catalin Gothard, who's a non-human primate researcher, James Rilling. So we really have a lot of people. So here is our aims. We're going to have 64 unfamiliar individuals. That leads to 384 dyads. This is the setup on the left. On the bottom, that will be the pilot hyperscanning that we will do. At this point, we're really thinking about multimodal recording, specifically what kind of cameras to use. So we have different examples here. Apple put a lot of money into developing its iPhones. It very readily syncs audio and video and has beautiful resolution. And we are testing that. One phone, two phones, or webcams.
1 minute.
Considering 360-degree like the owl. We'll look at where people are looking. One of the other speakers talked about pupil labs. We're considering that. We've done some demos with vendors. We're going to get a loaner to try to implement, pilot some of the hyperscanning. Now, in terms of modeling, so this is from Steve Heisig. It really illustrates you have rich multimodal dyadic time series of data across modalities. You can look at turn taking, which I could give a whole other talk on, and how important that is. But this is a lot of really rich data. We have to think about feature extraction. So these are some analyses that Steve Heisig did. Neurodivergent means schizophrenia here. So for feature extraction, we used Hume AI, which enables you to label configurations of face expression, and you could look at mimicry over time. We looked at time lag cross-correlation, which is disrupted in people with schizophrenia. We're doing dynamic time warping. Guillermo will do explainable AI. We will also look at mutual information. So we have a number of models that we will try to test. And I don't know if I finished early, but I didn't want to finish late.